How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Clutch Cinema Talk, and today we're going to be talking about the documentary that just finished titled The Last Dance. The Last Dance was a documentary going over the 90s Bulls in a way. It wasn't all about Michael Jordan, it was about the whole Bulls team. And just wanted to have a few thoughts on it. So, if you want me to do a little review, no spoilers, I guess, I believe everyone should watch this. This was a great documentary. It had me intrigued and excited every single week to see the new 2 episodes. All the episodes are on ESPN right now. And if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. If you haven't finished it, definitely finish it. It's great. It's great. So, The Last Dance, basically, it's focused on the 98 season, as each episode has shows parts of that 98 season leading up to, because the 98 season was the last dance, as Phil Jackson had said. And then throughout the documentary, they will go back maybe a few years or even farther, and they will cover ground on mainly Jordan, but sometimes they will go over, different players' pasts, Phil Jackson, Steve Kerr, and all that. And what I really liked about this documentary, for one, it really put it into perspective that this Bulls team was not just made up of 1 or 2 people. It was made up of a variety of players and coaches and different people and different influences and different events. And that's what this documentary really focused on. So let's talk about the main man, the GOAT, obviously, MJ Michael Jordan. Now, in this documentary, we get to see who the man Michael Jordan was. For hardcore fans, if they knew about his life and everything, even for just casual fans and people who just, skimmed through those years, or even not even lived through that time, like such as me and many of the younger people watching this documentary, we get to see what was going on and who this person was and how he was affecting the team and people around him. And that was just absolutely fantastic, because there was a point made toward the end of the documentary how saying Michael Jordan, his star status was greatly achieved in a time where there was no social media and none of this where you could just broadcast yourself all around the world. He did it based on his play, based on his basketball. And that's how it's been for the longest time. And now with a documentary like this, you get to see a deeper dive into who he was and what this team was. So that was great. It had the best part about it, obviously, was the constant look at his mentality and what people saw when they looked at him and his drive and how he felt about it, and his actions resulting from this drive, as we've already known, these 2 3-peats and all this and MVPs. But just the little interaction, we got to see that this mentality wasn't only on the court, it was in his way of life. Him always wanting to win and his desire to turn everyone into the level that he was on. He always wanted people to become where he was. And for example, like Steve Kerr, he gained his respect because he wasn't going to be at that level that Jordan was, but Jordan knew that he was pushing, he was competing, and even though these players didn't get to that level of Jordan, he knew that he was pushing them to become the best player they can be. That the desire to just turn everyone around him into stars and the best player they can be, right? And his desire to always wanting to win. You saw that in when they were telling the story about how on the plane he would go to the front and he would like to play cards with them, and he just didn't care about the money, he just wanted to beat them. He always wanted to beat everybody. That's just who he was. That's the competitive person he was. Always wanted to be that top. And that mentality got him to where he was, the top. It's literally amazing to see how someone could get into that mindset and to produce the results of that mindset. As you see, he's arguably the greatest player of all time. I'm not going to get into that discussion, but arguably the best player of all time, as more in fact the most well-known player in American sports, maybe. There was a part in the documentary when he said that his bully reputation in practice was he kind of like exchanged his niceness to be able to push someone. I mean, he was literally yelling at people in practice. That's just who he was. And not even us on the Bulls, on Team USA and everything like that. And that pushed players to become the best they could be. And if it was just more of a, I'm going to tell you straight away, you got to do this, you suck, this and that. You want to play, you got to play, you know. That mentality of him drove players to become the best they could be. Diving into Jordan as a person, we got to see things I learned. I'm just talking about things that I learned from watching this documentary, just based on Michael Jordan's life and mentality. Now, the whole thing with the gambling problem that Jordan had, quote unquote, I didn't really think it was that much of a problem. Is it really a problem if you're not really losing? And the whole thing with his father passing away, and the media and people just, you know, not even giving him time to grieve, and immediately trying to connect his father's death with his gambling problem. Now, that to me just showed me that and the fact they were always, many of the times they were always asking about his retirement and who's going to be better than him, better than this, that the media and people are always going to try and when you're on top, you're always going to be trying to bring down. There's always going to be trying to find a negative point of view, trying to find a flaw in you, always trying to find a flaw in you. And do I understand why? No, I don't understand why you can't just let the man grieve. You got to always trying to be drawing parallels and trying to make it his fault. That was unbelievable to me. I would be upset. I would step out of basketball if that was me too, that everyone is trying to bring me down and try to blame my father's death when I had nothing to do about it. Nothing. And it goes to show you could be at the top, and there's always going to be people trying to bring you down. There's always going to be haters trying to bring you down, and you have to work through that. You have to work. There's always going to be. There's never is everyone going to support you. Never, ever, ever, never. That's how you know you're the best, because people are trying to bring you down and you just push them to the side, right? Another great moment in this documentary was toward the end when he was talking about why think about missing a shot before you take it. And that was very interesting to me, because it's true. Why are you thinking about failure before you even get to that failure point, right? You're already thinking about losing before you even start the game. And that's not how we should be living life. That's not how our mentality should be. We should always go into it straight ahead. What happens, happens, all right? We're going to lose, but you only miss that shot unless you take it. It could go in, it could go out. Whatever happened, you still took the shot. You still made a possibility happen. You were going for an outcome, and that is respectable in itself. When you're not shooting, you're never gonna know the possibility. All right, you gotta keep shooting, and that's what Jordan did. He always kept shooting. He always kept shooting. Jordan, I remember seeing a stat. I don't know how accurate it is, but he had like 80 plus game-winning missed shots. 80. Imagine 80 times they pass the ball to you and you take the shot and you miss. But Jordan, he always came back. He's like, you know what? I'm going to make the next one. I'm going to make the next one. And he always kept shooting. That's how he always got the rock in the last seconds. Because he kept making. But you're going to miss and you're going to make some. You have to miss to make them. No one is ever going to be perfect. You can never go 10 for 10 in a game. You're going to have to take the shot. And Jordan always took the shots. Whether he missed or he made it. And remember, because they don't remember you for the misses. They remember you for the makes. Unless it's a lot of misses. I'm playing. But other things about this documentary, like I said in the beginning, I love how they go into depth about other people part of this Bulls team, such as Phil Jackson and Pippen and Rodman and Steve Kerr and even other teams, the Pistons, the Pacers. They really gave into a dive, and you really felt you were a part of this 90s run, seeing everything. It was literally a movie. And it goes to show that things in life, they get chaotic. They become an experience. And it was a bunch of characters. I mean, Pippen being the number 2, and Rodman just going absolute nuts. Kerr trying to fill in the spot of Paxson. Even Kukoc for how they bashed him in the Olympics, and he ended up joining the team and ended up being a big part of that role. It was amazing. It was all these pieces just fitting together to make this 90s run. And you can arguably say it started with Jordan, but it wasn't only just Jordan. Everyone was a part of this 90s team. It was an experience that many people were going to remember for all time. And I'm super glad that they made this documentary so we could feel like we lived it in a way, and just to see the experience as a whole, it was great. It was great experience. So I'm not sure how much I have else to speak about it. There's a lot of great moments in it, and but in conclusion, if you haven't seen The Last Dance, you should definitely check it out. It's a great, that's the thing, it's not just about basketball. It just shows just the way of life, the mentality that Jordan, he wanted to be the best. And he wanted people around him to be the best too. He wanted to see the best play, best people out of everyone around him. Everyone around him. And because of that, he's more than a basketball player. He's a person, a great person. And it all goes to show anyone could do it. It started way back in the day. Way back in the day. And it goes beyond basketball. It goes beyond sports. It goes to just people in general. How he's able to influence an entire world on his play and his actions. And now people can see who he was and what he wanted to do, and how his mind just got him to where he was, and where he, as a basketball player and as a human being. And it's fantastic. It's really amazing, just the accomplishment of a human being that could do this, right? And it could be anybody on these documentaries. It could be you. It could be me. It could be you. Or you back there. We could all do something great. And we could all influence people around the world with our actions. So, The Last Dance, definitely check it out. It's on ESPN, all 10 episodes. I super recommend it. I might as well just buy a Jordan jersey or Pippen. I don't know. Somebody. Gotta get some Jordan gear. But this has been Clutch Cinema Talk. Talking about The Last Dance from ESPN, the documentary. I hope to see you in the next video. What was your favorite Jordan moment? Do you have any Jordan moments for my, 30-plussers? Do I have any 30-plus subscribers? 30 older? I don't know. But until then, I will see you in the next video. KC from Clutch Cinema Talk is out of here. Deuces, everybody. Yeah.